Yeah, so obviously I'm James Vogle, Body by Vogle, got the merch here. So I've been a PT for about 5 years. I've worked in, I've done a standard, started in a leisure centre, then I went into like a private sort of bodybuilding gym, um, alongside my degree. So I've got a first class honours in sports science. And then I went into a commercial gym. Just shortly after, I went into a private studio, into co-ownership, and sort of didn't really work out. And I wanted to get back into a gym with as many people as possible. So done that, and always have done a bit of online for the last 2 years. But since within the last year, I've really wanted to sort of drive it up, because I can ultimately help more people. And like we just discussed, me and Josh just discussed, like service is a lot better online, I find. So yeah, I was just saying, it's at the point now where I am technically full online. I don't have to go back to the gym, but I do like that one-to-one element. So yeah, I'm going back to some one-to-ones and primarily online. And I sort of coach guys that have been where I was before. So starting off in the gym, want to build muscle, and they just don't have an idea. And you have so many people telling you this, telling you that. A typical one being, eat all you can, lift the heaviest weight as possible, even if you can't lift it properly. said 40-year-old Dave from the leisure centre. And I'm basically trying to stop that. So I've taken, I've added guys like 25 pounds on in a year, where they've just started off from training, and they've come to me straight away, and they've just gone like that. So yeah, that's me basically.
Yeah, so we've a similar sort of niche then. So I work with busy individuals who are looking to lose weight, burn body fat, and gain confidence. So James is doing something similar. So he's targeting those beginners that are looking to start their journey in the gym, but to gain muscle and again gain that confidence and gain that knowledge in the type of way that they actually train and eat and to build on muscle. Awesome. So yeah, today what we're going to talk about is how to actually stay motivated and adhere to the plan. So it's something that is very useful and very valuable for both my clients and my niche and James's niche as well. So James, what are you looking to work towards at the minute yourself? Are you training for anything specifically?
Yeah, so I've got a photo shoot booked for next June.
Awesome.
So I'm currently in a gaining phase, as you like to call it, which is the first gaining phase so I competed back in 2018. So this is my first actual gaining phase since then, because I've always basically just tried to stay in shape for my job, and things like that. Like walking around the gym floor. I'm always an advocate of like practice what you preach. End of the day, you're not going to go into a hairdresser's with a crap haircut and wanting to cut your hair. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
So had that, and so gaining phase at the moment, and obviously just tapering up, and probably until January, and then start a nice slow steady cut for June and a photo shoot. And to be honest, condition wise, I'm holding condition very, very well. I think where I stayed lean for so long, I think I'm going to end up basically seeing where I'm at, and I might just jump into a show, basically.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Announced it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, end of the day, like I've been where I was showing in 2018. I'd done it, I had a coach, and in my opinion, I've done it very, very wrong. And I've learned so much over the last few years. And to be honest, when I was lean about 4 months ago, at the start of lockdown, I was probably I always said, I've always kept about a month away from if I went just, drop the hammer, I could probably get on stage. That's how conditioned I stayed.
Yeah.
And that's the position that I'd want to be in the sense that I'd like to, cut down, but be in a position where it's not oh my God, I've got to, up the cardio crazy amounts this time so I'm ready. It's more right, I'm here now for a photo shoot, and look, I'm actually looking stage ready, or maybe a couple of weeks of extra cardio and I'll be there. But I don't want to go into it with right, I want to step on stage. It's photo shoot. If it happens, then it's for show as well.
The goal is the photo shoot. Fantastic. Is that for your portfolio content or content wise, or what?
Yeah, literally portfolio content wise, and just, you know, I'm a big advocate of like gaining and then actually just seeing what you've gained, like, you know what I mean, and then start again from there basically. So push up, gain tissue, pull back, see what tissue I've gained, and then repeat the process.
Awesome. I'm jealous. At the minute, I'm in a bit of a sort of cruising phase at the moment.
Oh,
So in a few weeks' time, I've got to go and get a suit fitted. And then as soon as I've got a suit fitted, I'm getting married in September. So
hey.
in regards to training, I can't really do a lot at the minute because I can't get my suit fitted and then start gaining again back in the gym. But I think with a little bit more routine when the gyms are back open now and starting to train a lot more regularly as well. Kind of just cruising into that, and then afterwards I am looking to put on some size as well. My legs have disappeared since lockdown. With 20 kilos, imagine.
Yeah.
But what would you say on those days then when you're feeling low and you're not that motivated? So when you're working towards your photo shoot, how would you kind of get yourself motivated and get you ready and fired up for that day?
Just obviously always remember your why, and like why you're doing it. I like to do things to kind of prove a point. Yeah. So like I've potentially, you know, had I come from a background of like being a little bit bullied in school, and like where I was quite overweight. So like it, you know, it isn't my main driver, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm doing this because
it's there.
End of the day, all of them are looking at my pictures and going, bloody hell, you know, and that does light a little bit of fire inside me. And I think most of the time I'm motivated, and you know, because I want to do it and things like that. But if I'm really, really low, I just pull back and think, like, you know, really find the deep down nitty gritty of why I'm doing it. And you know, then them sort of things come up and they really, really push me on.
100%. I was similar in school. I wasn't bullied or anything like that, but I was a little bit of the class clown. So no one took me seriously. So when it comes to my business and getting results from my clients now, my motivating factor is I want to be taken seriously in business and in life.
So, that's the same as me, really. Yeah.
Similar sort of thing. So what would you say to your clients? So I see this all the time with my clients. I don't know what it's like with yours, but where your friends are like, oh, one won't hurt. Oh, you can have this. Oh, why are you doing that? That's not healthy for you. Like, what would you say to your clients when they're trying to handle those moments with friends and family?
Yeah, so 9 times out of 10, to be honest, obviously it depends on the individual's goal. Like if they're like doing a photo shoot and you know you're like 4 weeks out, then definitely learn to say no. Yeah. But the biggest thing that I've learned over the last 2 years is just educating on how to say yes, because ultimately, I had this chat with a client the other day. You've got to make sure that what you are following fits you and you enjoy it, because if you don't enjoy it, you won't adhere to it. And ultimately, you know yourself, you know, if you look at the pyramid, the ultimate biggest driver to any sort of physique success is adherence. And if you haven't got enjoyment, then you don't have adherence. And if you don't have adherence, then you don't have any physique. So I always just, you know, yes, it isn't ideal and it's not optimal. And, you know, if you go over the top and you continuously, you know, every single weekend go out for a few beers, et cetera, then you probably will start to see the negative effects of it. But I think if it's 1 or 2, just learn and have that mental shift of how to actually just accept that you can have it, and just get straight back on to the next day. And I think that's the biggest thing, because I've been there before. You know, I'd done 18 weeks of a show prep, and I didn't go on a family holiday because of it. And that was, you know, I look back and I actually do kind of regret it, because I know that there are plenty of ways that I could have made it work. But I feel like sometimes you get too caught up and you're kind of too focused on the end goal, and actually you need to realize that, you know, you've got to have a life as well. That's my take on it.
That's it. I guess it depends on how important the goal actually is to you. So if it's that important to you that you're starting the journey, it should be that important to you on those low days. It's like I've got a guy who's very, very social, one of my clients, and he likes to eat out and have a few cocktails every single weekend. And he wasn't losing weight for his first couple of weeks that he was working with me. And I tried to explain why. I just said to him, why don't you have your meal? Instead of having a pudding, just have one extra drink instead. Because he was having a couple of cocktails. So you're still going out, you're still being social, but you're in control. And you're not having that lack of control and completely going off track from the bigger picture that is your goal. And as soon as he had a bit more control, he was aiming for more protein with the meal out that he was actually having. He actually stopped himself from having a pudding, but he was still really social, took his time with his drink instead of smashing them back. He lost 4 pounds in that first week.
Yeah.
So it's, as soon as that happened, he was like, oh, wow. And it made him realize again. So it is just being in control and just reminding yourself constantly, right, I started this for a reason. What was that reason again? Oh, right, yeah, but I want to achieve A, B, and C, and I want to feel like a certain way, or whatever the goal is. The goal has to be important for you to even start it in the first place. And when my guys are getting those, having those chats with friends and family, oh, one more won't hurt. It is just about saying yes, like you've just said, every now and again, but not every single night or every weekend, isn't it? So it's just about being in control as well.
And it's also, I find, say if like a client hasn't logged on and accessed my training lab with all the information, that all the videos about it, they'll be like, they'll just do it, and then because they do it, they'll just like go like, oh, you know what, I'll just have it all. And that's complete opposite. Like actually, they could have had it and they could have just accounted for it and they could have enjoyed it. Instead, they just went all in because they were like, oh, I don't really know, but I'll do it anyway. And then they feel guilt. So there's, and then obviously if you're guilty, then you're just going to feel rubbish. And I think, having the knowledge to actually just, still enjoy yourself and like consume things that you enjoy is vital.
Yeah, it's self-sabotage a lot of the time when people like that just go, they completely binge eat and overeat. A few reasons why I've seen that is, one, they're just not enjoying the process anyway, and they have a taster of something that isn't in their plan. They actually enjoy to eat, and they're like, oh my God, I've got a taste for it now. I can't actually control myself. Whereas if you enjoy something that much, you should have an element of that in your plan on a regular basis, so you don't actually binge and go out of control. But if you do go out of control, if it's just that one time, that's absolutely fine. Learn from it and move on. It's like if you have a flat tire on your car, you don't sell your car, you just replace the tire. It's exactly the same thing. And I've seen that so many times. I had a lady who worked with me the start of this year, sorry. And she had one day where she literally completely binged. She'd put on about 4 kilos, I think it was, and basically put back on all the weight that she'd worked hard to get off over the previous 6 weeks. And she ended up stopping coaching with me. And I was trying to explain to her that, look, this is just one time. You need to learn from it. But she's had so many different PTs and so many different coaches in the past. She's had over 10 different PTs that she's tried to work with. So I think for someone like her, it is one of those cases where, look, you need to have a look at yourself and you need to really like mentally sort that issue out. Otherwise, you'll never be able to move forward and look forward. You're constantly looking in the past and you're not taking steps forward towards that goal. But going off on a bit of a tangent there, but it's just about being in control of you.
Definitely.
100% what I've found. I mean, with your clients at the minute, is there any other barriers that you're finding that are demotivating them apart from family and friends?
Obviously, I actually do coach a lot of corporate people, so like busy work schedules. But again, it's just taking the ownership and making it work for you. Like, like to me, there's no excuse as to why you stop at the services, and there are plenty of options to have at a service station. Yet, oh no, I had a Burger King. Do you know what I mean? It's like you didn't have to have that Burger King. Do you know what I mean? Like, really, you didn't have to. There's plenty of other options, and it's just like it really does come down to how much you want it. Like if you want, I say this to clients on the program walkthrough. If you follow everything to a T, follow my guidance, use all of the, you know, educational content that I give you, and tick every single box off, you will get exactly where you want to be.
Guaranteed.
It's as simple as that. And like, I've got proof, you know, I've got so many proofs of that happening. But yeah, it's just weird. Like, you know, deep down, you know, you've got to want to change.
Yeah.
You have got to want to change. And there's no point in just signing up and thinking, you know what, yeah, I'll stick to half of it and then the other half I'll just do what I want, because it won't get you results.
Exactly.
And actually just, you know, look at yourself and go, right, I want to, you know, again, remember your why. Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
You need to look at yourself and think, right, if I just apply myself for these next 12 weeks, let's just see what happens. I think that's the other thing. People are like, you know, will it work? And it's like, just literally apply yourself for that 12 weeks. Do everything that you possibly can within your power, which 90% of the time is stick to the plan.
Yeah.
Because comes down to, again, how bad do you actually really want change? And, you know, you can see changes.
Yeah.
And that you know, that's one of the biggest issues, is work schedules and sort of getting a tad lazy, you know. Like, you can prep, you know, there's I had back in the end of last year, I had a lorry driver.
Yeah.
And he was like, I struggle, you know, I spend so much money on food, service stations, blah, 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 blah. And I said, well, why don't you invest £25 and buy a really good cool bag for your van or your lorry, and prep your food, and you won't ever have that issue. And, you know, because he was like, yeah, but, you know, if I prepare food, it goes all weird. And I'm like, well, instead of spending £50 a week at Burger King at every single service station, why don't you invest in a really decent state-of-the-art cool bag and just have all the food you want?
That's it. Everyone has a choice.
And I think it's just, it helps that I think someone overseeing it, you know, like it's very hard, you know, even for me, like I don't know about you, but I actually have a coach myself, because I like someone to overview me.
Yeah.
And it's you know, we're in a similar situation. Like, the client comes to us and we can see all of the different things that they're doing, and we can point them in the right direction. And that's all it is just pointing you in the right direction. End of the day, he would never have thought that. But because I can oversee it and think of solutions, you know, right, he's spending a lot of money, wants to save money. It's not, you know, he's not getting results because he's not sticking to the food that he wants to eat or consume. So what can we do to save money and eat the foods that he wants to? Buy a cool bag. Like,
that's it. You're eliminating that barrier straight away. I don't know what you do when you set your guys up, but when I set most of my clients up, I get them to do an in detail list of all the foods, meals, everything they just genuinely enjoy to eat and drink as well, including alcohol. And I mean, some of the lists that I've had are pretty short. Then I'll do the plan. Then they're like, and then they'll go off plan. It's like, well, you had the option to have everything that you want in your plan. And then once you do your plan, all you have to do is follow the basic instructions to get there. Eating the foods that you enjoy to eat, drinking what you enjoy to drink as well. And if you are at a point where you want to go off plan, I've got a whole page in my starter pack where it's talking about communication. If you're feeling low, talk to me. Pick up the phone, just drop me a message. If you want to go off plan, talk to me. We'll prepare for it. So you can go off plan. And that's what people don't realize a coach actually does. It's not about just, oh, here's a training plan. We are overseeing, like you've just said, the whole journey from A to B. And we're getting you over those barriers and holding your hand essentially for the whole way through. Because you've not been able to do it on your own. That's why you've hired a coach. And I think that's one of the nice things that I see when someone does achieve their goal. Is like, yeah, we've done that together. It's a really nice feeling. Yeah. Really nice.
Definitely. I fully agree with that.
But yeah, is there any other reasons that your clients or yourself ever feel demotivated when working towards your goal?
Big one, is obviously I've done everything I have. You know, I've followed the plan to a T, and I've only, you know, I've maintained my weight, or I've lost a pound, and it's not enough. And it's like, it's trying to get across, like, every single week isn't going to be the perfect week. You know, you're not going to drop, you know, like, yes, there's a good rate of loss, but you're not going to get that every single week. And there's so many different reasons as to why weight fluctuates. Like it's so many different reasons, and it's just, you know, being patient for a start and realizing that you might have gone to bed later. Like there's so many different things that could affect it. It's actually crazy. I say to people, like, I could do you a list, but I'd be there all day. I just say, look, just stick with it, keep ticking boxes, and it will happen. It will happen, as simple as that. Like, don't get too caught up on the scales. You know, like, for example, I had a guy, he lost, like, he's ticked it all off. He had like a 3 pound week last week. We dropped calories slightly, and he's had like another solid week. Mate, I've only lost a pound. It's like, and I said, well, how often did you weigh yourself? He's like, once. I was like, but that's 1 day out of 7. So you haven't got like a true representation of your week. Like, you might have been 4 pounds down every single day until yesterday, when you had a slightly saltier meal was your last meal, and then you know, led to a bit of water retention. Like, there's so many different ways.
That's it. I have exactly the same thing at the start of someone's journey when they lose a large amount of weight, usually around that 6 pound, 5-6 pound mark. And then the second week it's 2 or 3 pounds, and then the next week it's 1 pound, and so on and so on and so on. They're like, oh, I'm not losing as much as I did the first week. You won't. The further you go through the journey, the more and more you're chipping away. The reason you lose so much in that first week is because you're creating those brand new habits. This is all new.
100%.
So you're actually being more active and more conscious of being about more active as well. You're being more conscious about eating the right foods for you instead of the habits that you had before. So that first week is always going to be the most drastic week, and then it's going to taper off after that. I've had exactly the same thing with motivation, 100%. Yeah,
just kind of a lot of clients are like, you know, they really let the scales dictate their week, and it's like, you don't need to.
Yeah, but how did they feel before they stepped on the scales? How did they feel?
Exactly. That she actually, well, this was another client, this was a female client. She was like, I feel better, I look better, I'm training better, but I'm a pound up. Oh my God. And I'm like,
just answered all your own questions.
That's what I actually said to her. I was like, you're smashing it. Do not let the scales dictate how, you know, if you're looking better, feeling better, training better, that outweighs to me the pound extra.
Yeah, but that's one con, and you've got about 5 pros there.
Yeah.
Literally makes no sense. But yes, it's just our jobs as coaches to obviously help that client through those mental barriers and help them get from A to B. But sorry, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like, and I feel like there is a big influx of, like, you know, 2 pounds off this week, 3 pounds, 4 pounds, 5 pounds, 6 pounds for this client. Yeah, smashing it. 30, 40, 50 pounds down. I feel like there's a lot of obsession with scales at the moment. And it's like, it's essentially pumping like misinformation to clients. You know, for example, like, she signed up and she automatically, you know, she wanted to drop a bit of weight, but she was just like, right, I want to lose that. It's like, but, you know, you don't have to lose that to be able to feel better, look better, and, you know, but she was just like obsessed with losing that number.
That's it. I mean, I just use weight for my guys. I mean, they come to me wanting to lose weight, but they always mistake that with actually wanting to burn body fat. But I use weight as that almost guideline. So that's kind of running in the background, so I can see that we're heading in the right track. It's not the be all and end all, 100%. It's always down to photos for me. It's what I can see every single week. But I mean, do your guys do exactly the same when someone new approaches you? Oh, I want to lose weight. Okay, why do you want to be lighter in relation to your gravity to the ground? Surely you want to look better.
Yeah.
So you want to burn body fat. You don't want to lose weight. You want to burn body fat. 2 completely different things. Do you have exactly the same thing?
100%.
So common. So common. It's because I have a lot of people who have been members of like Slimming World and Weight Watchers.
Oh, yeah.
5 times. They've been members 4 or 5 times because they yo-yo all the time. They'll be in a calorie deficit of like over 1,000, something ridiculous.
It's so bad. It's so unsustainable.
They'll lose weight really, really quickly and then go back to the starting position again. And they're like, oh, Slimming World worked for me before. And I'm like, well, if you're starting it again, it didn't work for you.
Yeah.
You're starting again. And they're like,
Yeah, I must admit, I've helped a couple of yo-yo dieters, and it is like the biggest factor is patience. Them people don't have patience. It's as simple as that. Like, you know, I signed up a girl. She's been back and forth with Herbalife, Slim Fast, Slimming World. First week, I actually wanted, you know, she was eating so little calories. I actually got her up to like pretty much maintenance. I was like, we need to get you eating more.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, I've maintained my weight. And I'm just like, that's part of the process. Like, you know, you're not in the, you know, don't expect to drop like, you know, what you would at Swimming World in the first week. Don't, you know, you're not going to drop a 7-pound week or whatever like that. Like, we need to get you eating well, first. And then we can chip away. And that's how you get a nice, sustainable, you know, weight loss. Yeah. And, you know, second week, I've only lost a pound. I've only lost, you know, but like, you know, you're eating more than you were before, and you're still losing weight. That should be a massive win in itself.
Yeah.
I
just at that point.
Yeah, and I just said to her, like, you know, this is a process in which we're taking you from like consistently trying all these fads to just learning it for life, so you won't have to ever go back to these fads.
Exactly. And that's why you should hire a coach, and that's why you should work with a coach. Should always be the last start that you ever make when you're looking to work towards that goal. 100%. But yeah, James, that time's gone really fast. It has,
isn't it? It's flown by.
The time always flies. Do you know, I said that to Brandon. I did one with Brandon. I don't know if you know him, Brandon Hepburn. Him last week, and it literally came to like half an hour-ish, and it was like, Jesus, where did that? Just ended up talking. But yeah, I'll put James's Instagram down below. I'll put his website there as well. If anyone watching is looking to gain muscle, or you're a beginner in the gym and you're looking to kind of work on your resistance-based training, James is your man. So I'll put his details down below, and I'm sure we'll jump on another one soon.
Definitely. Cheers, mate. Appreciate that.